This is giving City an injection of freshness and quality, or just replacing quality with quality. That's the top of the Premier League for you, isn't it?
It is. There's Ederson, who's barely had a touch in the last 5 or 10 minutes, plays it out to Ilkay Gundogan, the hero of the 3-2 win against Aston Villa, which gave City the title. They had to win that game, didn't remember, on the final day of last season. Here's Mahrez, that's a good ball, and Alvarez and Grealish wants to shoot into the box. He's got to the byline, tries to sneak it back towards Gundogan. It's blocked by Wolves, but not for long. Grealish has it again. You sense Grealish is a player here who looks like someone with something to prove. He's found Gundogan low cross, blocked by Kilman, headed back by Wolves. Grealish is there again. Grealish, he just looks like someone who's desperate to get involved in everything now.
Well, it looks like he's enjoying himself as well. What we saw him just getting to the byline, then pulls the ball across. It was intercepted, but that's what we like to see, when he takes a man on and feints the cross, then he goes again.
15 minutes to go. Through ball towards Mahrez. If he can get there, he can't. Jose Sarr timed his run out of the box very well indeed, and was able just to smother. This is Pedro Neto, and now Moutinho. Decent through ball out towards Ait Nouri, the left hand side for Wolverhampton Wanderers, into the penalty area. Still Ait Nouri, one way then the other. They can't get the ball off him at the moment. They do finally through Mahrez, who clips it away down towards Haaland. Haaland holds it up well and bears down on goal. He's found Grealish here. This is Grealish 25 yards from goal, finding Haaland again. First touch isn't great, and there's a covering defender, Max Kilman, to get across and sweep it behind for a corner.
Yeah, you feel there's a lot of potential in that relationship between Grealish and Haaland. Nearly came off then. As you said, the first touch of Haaland wasn't brilliant. Looks like Grealish's time is done for the day.
Grealish was just getting into the game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's been taken off. Young Cole Palmer, 20-year-old boyhood Manchester City fan, is coming on for his 5th appearance of the season. He's never scored for Manchester City, so he's got a chance here, hasn't he, against 10 men, to open his account. Or he hasn't scored in the Premier League, I should say, for Manchester City. Grealish is off, having got his goal. And Guardiola ringing the changes. And they have a corner kick on the near side, which is going to be taken by Ilkay Gundogan. It's going to be an in-swinger with the German international's right foot. Plenty of bodies inside the box, but it's come diagonally back to Cancelo. Now it's Palmer. Cancelo again. Palmer on the overlaps, got time to measure across here. Delays his cross, scoops it in. It's hit on the volley by Mahrez, and it loops up and over, and City will have another corner, and it's real backs to the wall. Should have mentioned also that Wolves have brought on Boubacar Traoré, whose work permit came through just in time for him to be included in the squad, and he's making his debut on loan from the French club Metz. Not a terribly happy time to come on and make your debut. 3-0 down and facing a corner. In it comes. Haaland doesn't touch it, and Ruben Neves, it cannoned off him. The reason he's smiling is because it could have gone absolutely anywhere, including flying past his keeper, but it went flying past the post instead.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about it. It came to his feet and made a bit of a half-hearted effort to get rid of the ball.
Here comes the next corner. It's nodded away by Nunez. It's gone out of play. Adam Richardville, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, Richardville, loving the commentary from the farm in Indiana, USA, hoping City get quite a few more. Lovely picture of the sunset, or the sun rising there above your crops. I hope you have a happy harvest over there in the United States, Adam. I don't think you need worry too much about Manchester City. Their 3 will probably be enough. They will extend their goal difference advantage over everybody else, and of course, more importantly, they'd be 2 points clear of the Gunners, who play tomorrow at Brentford. Here's Haaland with a touch. Here's Mahrez trying to trick his way into the box, tackled by Ait Nouri. But Wolves are having real trouble now getting the ball out of their defensive area, and here comes City again with Manuel Akanji. Now it's Ruben Diaz, one of the scorers in that big win in the Champions League in Andalusia against Sevilla. Now it's Diaz again, just probing forward. Cross it comes from Rodri, controlled on the far side by Mahrez. It's a clever ball in towards Haaland, who at full stretch wasn't quite able to control the ball, ended up flat on his face in the penalty area. Interesting they haven't taken him off. Clearly,
yeah,
they feel
it is,
that will keep striking the fear into the rest of the division by maybe getting another goal.
Yeah, he's been taken off a couple of times later on in matches, and I think he would have wanted to have a 90 minutes. A player needs that every now and again, just to remind yourself what it's like to go through a 90.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very good point. It looks like he is going to go through the 90 here. We've got 10 minutes of it left. And another Wolves substitution is going to be made now. And the player coming on is... we'll find out in a moment who's coming on. Rodri is coming off meantime for Manchester City to be replaced by Sergio Gomez, who is making his third Premier League substitute appearance, having come from Anderlecht in the summer. And Nelson Semedo has replaced Ryan Aït-Nouri for Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's a straight swap at fullback. Ryan Aït-Nouri, probably Wolves' best player on the day. Here is Semedo pushing it back to Kilman. And now Moutinho. It's a nice little flick, but it's well read by Gundogan. But Semedo has continued to drive forward for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he's found Neto. Neto gets to the byline, crosses, good block by Ruben Diaz, because Hwang Hee-chan, the South Korean international, was coming in at the near post. He needs a goal. 1 in 30, Hwang. Hasn't scored in 19 games since he netted in the defeat by Arsenal in February. Underlines Wolves' problems at the top end of the pitch. No Kalajic, no Jimenez. Costa still trying to get match fit. They haven't got many options up there, but they've got a corner here, and Ederson comes all the way, can't quite catch it, but he's managed to palm it volleyball style across towards Gomez, who does well to evade a challenge and just slips it back to Akanji, who gets it back from Gomez on the right hand side of the field. Here's Mahrez, 1-2 with Alvarez, but comes to nothing. 7.5 minutes left at Molineux. Don't forget, we've got 2 more games for you today, only 3 on the day because of the increased police presence needed for the Queen's funeral. Now then, the ball slips in towards Haaland, tries to get goal side, and slither and a slide by Ruben Neves makes sure that he doesn't. Newcastle Bournemouth is coming up shortly. That's a 3 o'clock kick-off local time. Russ Hargreaves and Hogan Ephraim. And later on, Spurs, who could go level on points with City at the top of the table if they win, are at home to bottom club Leicester. Here's Mahrez towards Haaland. It's headed away at the near post by Kilman, and Hwang Hee-chan wins a throw on the far side off Cancelo. Ball is lofted over the top by Wolves, but that's a really good challenge by Akanji, who uses it well also and finds Mahrez. Mahrez finds the twinkling feet of substitute Alvarez, but not a good shot. Scraped it straight at the goalkeeper Jose Sarr.
The game is done and all. You know, any way you look at it, City are dominating. It's about nicking a goal, isn't it? And really now for Haaland or Alvarez. You still see the runs that they're making, particularly Haaland. He's so desperate to get number 2.
Here is Alvarez finding Palmer. Now Alvarez again, back to Diaz. And Ederson to go at Molineux. The battle is lost and won, but question really of whether City can get another goal. This will be a 5th successive defeat against Manchester City for Wolves, who in that period so far have scored 3 and now conceded 16. Here's Palmer going backwards, finding Diaz, and now Ederson. It's going to take something to shift Manchester City off the top spot. It's going to take something to prevent them increasing an impressive tally of 4 title wins in the last 5 seasons.
But when you say that as well, they've had a couple of draws. Villa, Newcastle United. They have shown a little bit of vulnerability, and that should be giving teams thought for there's possibilities to challenge them, to take them on.
They're 7 points above Chelsea, 8 points above Liverpool, 5 points above Manchester United. Neto's coming off for Wolves as they make their latest substitution, and it's Chem Campbell, who's a 19-year-old Welsh attacking midfielder who's coming on.
That's pretty well the full quantity of subs used, isn't it?
Yeah, almost.
I mean, it's a lot. I don't know if you're a fan of it, John, or not.
I'm not a fan of it as a commentator because it's so easy to miss one, and also it completely changes the
dynamics of the game completely, isn't it?
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like the same game now because there's so many new players on the field.
One of whom is Campbell, who's on the ball now. He's wearing number 77. And he gets it back wide on the right-hand side. Trying to get to the byline. He's done well to get there, but there's cover. I think that's going to be a goal kick. Campbell wants a corner. Birmingham boy, local to Wolverhampton, which is just to the north of the city of Birmingham, what they call the Black Country in the old days of manufacturing. It's a famous old club we mentioned before. In the 1950s, Wolves were the preeminent club in English football, led by Billy Wright, who became the first English player ever to win 100 England caps. And him and his wife was in a group called the Beverley Sisters, who were popular. They were the sort of Posh and Becks of the 1950s. Here's Cancelo. There's an overlap here from City with Mahrez down the right-hand side, but there's cover provided by Kilman. Mahrez will have to come backwards. He finds John Stones, who's still continuing to play as a central midfield player. We've seen that with Kyle Walker, haven't we? Drifting infield from right back. As you said, it's a Guardiola ploy. Aimless chip forward, that one though, by Gomez, which should be defended by Semedo, who finds Neves. Credit to Wolves though. I mean, it's a nightmare, isn't it? You're 2-0 down against City and you lose a player, and for the majority of the second half they've kept it competitive, haven't they, or tried to? Yeah,
they've worked hard. The first 20 minutes of the second half, Wolves were the better side.
Here's Nunes on the far side, curls it in, useful looking cross. Ederson flaps, ball bounces up and he gets it into his grasp at the second attempt under pressure from Campbell, and throws it out quickly. And here's Haaland, who rather stumbles over the ball, but he still has it, plays a decent ball across to Palmer. Palmer edge of the box, looking for his first Premier League goal, but there's no space for his shot, so he has to come backwards and find Gomez. Now it's Stones. Wolves fans ironically chanting, "What a waste of money." It's Erling Haaland.
I like it.
Irony at its best, isn't it? They'd give absolutely anything to have him in their team. This is the great thing about football crowds, isn't it? The humour is brilliant. Yeah. Here's John Stones away from the centre circle and finding Palmer in a bit of space down this left-hand side. Palmer crosses too high for Haaland, and it's knocked away out of harm's way by Wolves, but possibly only temporarily.
Haaland's reaction there, Palmer had the ball in a wider position. It was played out to him. There was an early ball in for Haaland, and Haaland's been throwing his arms in because he took 2-3 touches before he put it in. You know, one touch, get it in. Goal if you've got Haaland in there.
That's the City way, isn't it? Here's Cancelo into the box, still has to check back, can't find his man. Moutinho tidies up for Wolves for the last 5 minutes or so.